you're not watching playoff basketball using Sling TV, you're doing it all wrong. Because with Sling TV, you get every playoff game for the best price, hands down. Sling is the MVP for all your favorite live sports, news, and entertainment, and you'll never get locked into a long-term contract. I love that. While the other guys charge you more for less, with Sling, you can watch all the sports you love, including every playoff basketball game for the best price. Customize your channel lineup with all-star channels like TNT, TBS, True TV, ESPN, USA Network, and more. Plus, you can stream the games anywhere, so you never miss another play. Watch on your favorite devices, including your phone, computer, tablet, and smart TV. You can also watch anytime you want, with 50 hours of DVR storage included. Sling is easy to set up and easy to use. Check out sling.com for special offers. Be confident you're getting all the playoff basketball you love for the price you'll love. Try us today.
I'm a guy who only basically likes clams, really. I'm a clam guy. Only eat clams. That's all I do. Hey, clam fishes.
Clams are awesome. Have you ever had an oyster?
I hated oysters. Like a Z burger.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. We're back in the Classic Factory, and it feels so good. It's Monday, April 25th. I'm J.E. Skeets. We're waiting on Tass Mellis. He's stuck in traffic. He's like Shaquille O'Neal over there at TNT. So he'll be arriving hopefully in 10 or 15 minutes. But we're right into it. We got our top shot hot boy, seeing red, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-yo. The international man of mystery. Taking it to the max, Leigh Ellis. Leigh, good to be able to reach out and touch you once again. And last, certainly not least, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. How's the fam doing, JD?
Fam's doing great.
Good.
We're back, baby.
Yeah,
we are
feels
back.
good. It's weird that we haven't done a playoff show here in the Classic Factory.
Right?
Because this guy was on vacation and COVID hits the family. We play it safe, but here we are. Of course, Tass ain't here, though. He'll get here. Don't worry. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Take a second to like the video. Make sure you subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Comment away there in the stream team and share the show. Email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. I know it's been a while since we've addressed some of the cues you guys send in. But like I said, as these series start to wrap up, we'll have more time, I think, to hit the beach. So keep sending those cues in. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Are you about ready for a couple of these series to end? Like, be honest with me. A couple of them.
Yes, no, I mean, I like
You
it.
still like the 3 and 4 games on every night? I've hit a little bit of a burnout here, I'll be honest.
No, I mean, because we've had a couple of teams that win the game 3, like the Hawks, and then they're probably going to be out in 5. But I like seeing the Nuggets fight back. I love seeing the Pelicans. I mean, this is...
Well, look, we're going to get into all of it. We're going to touch on all 8 series. That's the plan here on a Monday, so this could be a long show. Hence why we couldn't wait for Tess to get here. We had to get right into it. But new shirt alert. If you missed Friday's show, we dropped some bangers. Go to nodunks.com. Some throwback, TBJ/starters inspired t-shirts from our friends at Breaking Tea. So go get those. We got a deal on for at least a week, I think up until Friday, that if you want to get all 3 of those brand new t-shirts, you buy 2, you can get that 3rd one free. So a little bit of a deal there. You just got to use that code NODUNKS3 when you're checking out there. Which one's your favorite, Leigh?
Probably the old tricolor one there. That's is that the original or?
Well, no, it's one of the first.
Yeah.
One of the first.
I've still actually got, I believe, 2 of the originals, one grey and one black at home somewhere, of the Basketball Jones ones.
Oh, really?
I think so, yeah. I'll see if I can dig them out.
Okay.
They're a little weathered, I will say that.
You can put those on eBay, man.
No way. They're like my Lakers posters from the 80s, man.
They're going to live with you forever?
Yeah, you can't, yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't sent them back to Dickie's house and put them in a basement somewhere and file them somewhere.
Maybe that's the safest place for them.
Yeah,
sure.
I think so. So go to nodunks.com to get your No Dunks merch. Okay, before we get into the series, we did have a wedgie. Yeah, last night on Sunday, Jae Crowder sticking the jumper wedgie, but got a nice little bounce off the front of the rim to stick there. And JV, come on, let it breathe Jonas. A little bit
He's
more.
like, can we just get the fast break going here?
Yeah.
'Cause if that was a jump ball, shouldn't that just be the Pelicans? But there's 4 guys around the ball.
It's fascinating, you're right, Leigh. I mean, people even say, like, on a block, that you get called for the jump.
Oh, I hate that
It's
call.
like, why are we jumping that
hate
up?
that
Shouldn't
call.
that go to the defense? Anyway, we're up to 40. That's our first wedgie of the playoffs, guys. And the playoffs have been going for 3 months now, so it's pretty crazy. But I think it was Tass tweeting this out last night. Number 40 means we will not be setting a new record for wedgie futility. 40 is the fewest in a season going back to the 2017-18 season. So at least... we're not going to be on the wrong side of history here. Only stuck at 39. I think we got a couple more in us here, too.
You're lucky, Wilson.
Yeah, right.
You're lucky.
We would have been going back to Spalding next year for sure.
Silver makes the call. Sorry, not enough wedgies.
Okay, so let's get into the series here. We'll start with the Western Conference series. We'll take a break, and later on in the show, do the Eastern Conference series. Let's start, though, with that game that gave us the wedgie. Brandon Ingram and the Pelicans, they overwhelm the Bookerless Suns to tie the series at 2 games apiece. The 1-8 matchup, 2-2. We got a pivotal Game 5 coming up. Trey, what'd you think?
I mean, it's technically a 1-8 matchup, but it's also kind of a 1-9 matchup.
Absolutely.
And man, this was a real game of basketball. It was lit in the blender, Leigh. A lot of heroes for a Pelicans team that, like you're saying, Skeets, they ain't going away easily. A dangerous night for Jonas Valanciunas last night. Just a consistent interior presence, I thought, for the Pelicans. A career playoff high, 26 points on 9 of 15 shooting, 7 of 11 at the line as well. He just kind of keeps the scoreboard ticking, you know? Putbacks, little dinkers and dumpers, and then I thought drawing all those fouls was huge, just putting his head down and going around whoever's trying to stick him there and just out physicaling basically JaVale McGee every single time. Brandon Ingram in the third quarter, an ethical 16 points on 7 of 11 shooting, 2 free throws, no 3-pointers. He was just getting to his right hand every single time. It kind of culminated in that huge dunk he had down the lane. Nice little smile as he went back down the court anyways. I thought that was pretty funny to see a little bit of emotion from him. He's a sleepy looking guy, but every time he scored in the third quarter, just a tiny grin as he went back down the court. I thought that was cool. The fourth quarter, though, the rookie showcase pretty much for the Pelicans. Jose Alvarado, some incredible stuff. Nobody's been more excited for an 8-second violation and a backcourt steal, I don't think. Like, everybody was rooting for him to finally get that behind-the-back steal from Chris Paul. And I thought, shout out to Jose Alvarado. He really did change the game on the sneak-up, because he's usually been doing it like on a dead ball, right? Like, he'll go and hang out by the bench as the inbounds comes. This was on a missed shot, but he knew to hide during the missed shot because Chris Paul's not going to fall for it.
He had to adapt.
And he certainly did. That was awesome. I compared him to Daniel Bryan, like finally getting the WrestleMania championship at WrestleMania 30. Yes! And Underdog finally pulled it off, and then Herbert Jones was incredible. We're calling him Herbert at this point because he needs to be called Herbert for his gentlemanly play out there. Blocking 3-pointers, looking like Bill Russell. Accepting zero help from Chris Paul. A big moment there. They seem a little bit like a college team, and the crowd certainly seems like a college crowd. The effort and the activity from Alvarado and Jones was just too much for the Suns, a team that, like, they're great at coming back in the fourth quarter, and they did it earlier in the weekend as well. So, I don't know. I've heard tales of people calling the Pelicans the Wee Pelivicans.
Oh my God. What?
Wee Pelivicans.
What? Hold on. I can't tell if you're making that up or somebody else.
I'm not.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I saw a Matt Moore tweet about it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's
You got
horrible.
the We Believe Warriors, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's Pelivicans, but I like it. No Devin Booker, obviously, for the Suns.
Yeah.
So this is close, especially if there's anything that comes from this weird Chris Paul report that his hand is perhaps messed up. He didn't play incredibly well in this game. Alvarado finally got to him, didn't take a whole bunch of shots. So, I mean, I think the Suns still have the advantage in the series, but if Booker's out even more time, if Chris Paul ends up having a missed time, the Pelicans are clicking right now, and they're fun to watch. Unfortunately for them, they don't have another home game coming up right now, because I think they would easily win another game in New Orleans. So we shall see. This is a series now. Didn't seem like it would be going into the playoffs.
No, and it was a series. We have to remember when Devin Booker was still there, because they were still leading. So this is not like they've just found a fortune. They're playing with house money, but they're playing so well right now. And I pointed out as well, CJ McCollum seems so comfortable in the, like, I can be the star if I want, but I don't have to be. He's getting incredible support from the guys you mentioned, Brandon Ingram. And
Brandon Ingram he is on a level right now. He has gone up a level, I should say, is the best way. He is consistently killing it right now.
And his physicality is actually really impressive because he looks like the skinniest guy still. Remember when he was drafted, he was the thinnest guy out there. He doesn't look like he's put on any weight, but he's not afraid of contact. He's not afraid of going inside and throwing the ball down. And he's not an emotive character, but he's a fierce guy out there. And
he reminds me of McGrady in that sense.
He's got the eyes,
he's just sort of always even keeled.
I think Larry Nance has been giving them really good effort off the bench too last night. You saw one play that I think it was a missed shot, and he just caught it. No one was paying attention, and he reverse laid it up. Speaking of Jose Alvarado,
here comes sneaking in there.
Steal all your mics. Perfect time.
But,
good luck.
But I mean, the Pelicans are just playing like no one really expected us to even win a game here. We've got 2. They're a chance in this series if things go right, and it is fun. That crowd, I've never ever seen the Pelicans crowd go crazy like it did, especially last night. Friday similar, but last night it was like packed, people going off their head. And Chris Paul obviously has to be more aggressive. He talked about that, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has got a bit of an injury there. But Jae Crowder, man, feast or famine with this guy. 1 for 17 from 3 in the series. This is a guy you know is going to go 6 for 6 at some point. I know. But when he's off, man, he goes cold. So there's some concern here for the Suns. I still think they get out of this series, but it's going to be a bit of a uphill climb for them.
It's weird to see a team win in 2022, a playoff game where you hit 6 3-pointers, which is what the Pelicans did. Suns only hit 7, but making these defensive plays, the Pelicans down the stretch, Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado, and even Larry Nance with that tip out rebound, huge. And even the losses, the Pelicans, like it's 2-2. They're in these games. Like they have not got their asses handed to them. So it's a competitive series. Tass is here. How's the traffic out there?
Great show. I was just watching the show.
In the car? Wow.
Of course. Well, there's so much traffic, it was standstill.
Oh, good.
I wasn't driving.
Nice.
Okay.
I was like Jose Alvarado, just sitting in the corner waiting for my spot in the show. As soon as Leigh started talking, I thought I could jump into the show, so it worked out perfect.
How's it going, man?
Well, DeAndre Ayton, I think should play more minutes. There's one guy who's smoking hot in this series. I think Ayton is should be the guy that they rely on, and a little less JaVale McGee. But it is great to see Jonas Valanciunas really contributing on the other side. Willie Green's little adjustment of matching the minutes with JaVale McGee and Jonas Valanciunas worked out really well. Jonas was so solid after a poor game 3. And we're back, baby. This is fantastic. Is the pressure on the Suns? I don't think so. I think they're going to feel really good going home. I don't think this is like the We Believe Warriors, as you were talking about there, Trey. People will obviously draw that comparison because there's such a huge gap between these two teams. There's only been one time in history where a team with more than 25 plus wins than their opponent has lost, and that was the We Believe Warriors. But I still believe in the Suns. Whether or not we get Devin Booker, I think that they should be the favorite. Game 5 at home, obviously. The Pels are feeling fantastic, but I think you get the role players playing a little bit better at home for the Suns. And the Chris Paul thing is worrisome, as you guys talked about with the injury to the hand, but I want more Ayton, really. I mean, and then the role players should play better, but this is a great series.
Anything else to add to Suns-Pelicans here? We do have to have some pace to get to all 8 series, but what do you got?
Last thing, what did you make of Chris Paul's foul on Herbert Jones? Got a flagrant one. Could have been an ejection. No different than Jokic getting ejected for hitting Cam Payne in the nose last year. The only difference, Chris Paul is smaller than Herbert Jones, whereas obviously Jokic is a lot bigger than Cam Payne. I think that's the difference, really.
And
if it's big guy on small,
the series was kind of over when Jokic hit Payne in the face.
Yeah, good point.
Chris Paul shouldn't be getting rattled by these rookies and young guys. He should be the one who's at least maintaining his composure. Now, we know the way Alvarado plays, but that 8-second violation, Chris Paul shouldn't be getting caught for that at this stage of his career. I mean, I hope Chris Paul gets a championship because I think he deserves one, but it's also good seeing someone really shit stir him and get him, considering the way that he's done that throughout his career. You know, he's always the one, flopping and getting in front of guys and falling over. So to have a guy just come and get under his skin like that, I think is hilariously fun to watch.
Also interesting to hear Monty Williams, of all coaches, point out the, huge difference in free throws attempted in this game. Pelicans going to the line way more than the Phoenix Suns. But as Trey talked about, I just thought, especially with JV and Ingram, like they attacked. What do you think about Monty's comments here? This is something he usually doesn't do.
Yeah, he didn't really elaborate. He just put it out there and then step back.
Yeah.
And a good stat, actually, from our friend Nate Duncan broke down how many times the Phoenix Suns generally go to the line during the regular season, and it was a match.
Right.
So the Phoenix Suns guys don't get to the line, who are playing, without Devin Booker, don't get to the line much more than that. Obviously, the Pels went a ton, but yeah, they are playing with some bravado, some Alvarado bravado, and not just Alvarado, obviously, but they're not acting like an 8 seed. With the way they're strutting into to play the Phoenix Suns. It's a little like on the East Coast that we'll get to. God, the most horrible series in the league, the Celtics Nets. But the Celtics feel like they are. It's their time. And the Pelicans feel like they can beat the Suns right now. So Game 5 is the series. Sure
pivotal.
Like.
Is that pivotal to you?
Oh boy.
Right. I think you might be right. And we'll see if Booker plays in it. Okay, let's keep going here. The other Western Conference game on Sunday was Jokic and the Nuggets avoiding sweep. Okay, so we are set up for a potential gentleman's sweep. Or, the Nuggets living to fight another day, but they did here in Game 4 with the victory over the Warriors.
This wasn't just the Warriors like, all right, we'll give you this game. They tried to win it. Right. They nearly did win it. This was actually a really close end here. And the big key for me was that Nuggets got help, real help, from the supporting cast. Jokic, he was great. As always, he had the 37 points. But Monte Morris hit 24 points with 5 threes and a floater in the lane right at the end. Beautiful stuff there. Yep. And then Aaron Gordon had the 21 points. And then Bones Highland came off the bench, did his little thing where he has a burst of like a minute and a half where he hits the 3 threes. Also had 7 assists, Bone Highland. So that's the thing. It's not that Jokic he scored 37 points. Sometimes you see those games where he has 17 assists or whatever. He didn't have to do everything. They were able to survive when he wasn't necessarily on the court. And then Austin Rivers, I thought, played a really good game for a guy who had 3 points because he had 5 steals. Mm-hmm. And he had a clutch steal there on a play that they read. Jokic's on the bench saying, it's a lob, it's a lob. And Austin Rivers after the game said, they've beaten us with that before. I was ready for it. And he got in and he made the play. So the Nuggets deserve this victory. They fought hard and they've probably only extended the series by 1 game. But the big question now going into Game 5, Steph Curry has been coming off the bench, and whether or not Steve Kerr decides, okay, we lost the game, so maybe we bring him back in. I don't think he does. I'm not sure. But if he does, it'll be interesting to see actually who he replaces, because I think he might he's not taking out Jordan Poole at this point. Klay Thompson's there, so Steph. And then it's Andrew Wiggins is probably staying, and it's Kevon Looney coming off the bench, I think, and Draymond at 5. The only risk with that is if Draymond gets in early foul trouble because he fouled out last night. But I sort of feel that that's probably their strongest lineup where they maybe just can blow the Nuggets off the floor early on. We'll see. I mean, Kevon Looney only played 12 minutes in the end in this one. But I really think that this was... Steph Curry, by the way, missed 4 free throws.
Mm-hmm. First time ever.
Unbelievable. And he was so gutted.
Yeah, and he knew it. He was counting them out, wasn't he, at the line at one point? He's like,
he hit some wild shots in this one. But
what do you think about the final play call? I know that play has worked before, the old lob to the net, but obviously they had read it, they knew it. Jokic is telling them. I'm sure there's other members on the staff who were yelling it out. And you do have a bunch of pretty elite shooters.
It was a terrible pass.
Yeah, brutal all around play.
Terrible pass. Wiggins kind of jumped for it, but Austin Rivers, I just thought, read it really well.
Yeah,
and made the right
Otto
play.
Porter Jr. didn't throw it very high.
No, he didn't. Steve Kerr said, I wish I could have had that one back.
Yeah.
So, in theory, it was the right play, but the Nuggets were ready for it. So, good on them.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think of this game and the Nuggets staying alive here?
Jokic got some help. We finally had a Bones Highland game that was really, really important. Those 17 points, the splash, splash, splash. And, that push shot from Monte Morris in the lane. It was a beauty.
Huge.
A cross-body shot. It's going, he zagged. It was a lot like Chris Paul going left to right and then pushing it across his body. Really important stuff. Jokic is the leading scorer in the postseason. He's just needed a little bit of help. And, that Bones Highland Game 4, I guess, he's a freaking rook. I mean, he was just drafted. They're so desperate for help. And we thought maybe it could be an Austin Rivers or somebody to help them along. But I'm just glad it kind of shuts Twitter up a little bit. There will be some talk of Jokic receiving the MVP and then everybody saying, well, he got bounced in the first round. At least he didn't get swept.
Yeah.
Because it sure feels like he's going to get bounced. But he really, really needs help. and finally got some guard help in this one.
Yeah, and they all decided to chip in the same game. That helped too. Aaron Gordon got to the line, he contributed. You guys said Bones, Austin Rivers defensively, and then Monte Morris. I mean, he had he hit 5 3-pointers in a quarter, and then the huge shot down the stretch that you guys said. So they all picked the same game to help out the Joker, and it resulted in a victory. Not a surprise.
Yep, 15 threes. That's huge from the Nuggets supporting players as well. Only 3 came from Jokic, so the other guys are hitting 10. You gotta love that. And definitely the Nuggets got a little help from Steve Kerr. Insane play call. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. Like, Otto Porter was having a terrible game, probably the worst player on the court, and you give him the ball to chuck it in as the passer when you got Curry and Klay Thompson both going off. So yeah, he should regret that one. That really gave the Nuggets the win, and honestly, good for them, because like Taz is saying, imagine the buzz if Jokic is pulled for defense there and that play somehow works. So shout out to Steve Kerr saving some Twitter debates.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think this one is over a gentleman's sweep, though? Get your top hats out, get your monocles on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think. I mean, the Nuggets. Look, if they get that sort of supporting cast help, then they can stay in the game. But I just have a feeling the Warriors back home are going to try to get this one done and dusted and get ready for the second round, because they'll get an extra couple of days with this Grizzlies-Wolves one going minimum 6 games now. And again, I just feel that smaller ball lineup. Jordan Poole finally had a cool off game. He's been incredible in this series. I think when they get home, they'll be fine.
Clay was phenomenal in this game.
Quietly, he's been really good in this whole series.
He's been so good. Yeah, 7 threes, probably 4 dribbles. I don't know. Just ripping it. He's looking good.
What do you think about Leigh's idea of, like, will Kerr switch up the lineup here for Game 5, or does he just stay with has been working for the most part of the series?
Yeah, I would be worried about Draymond Green getting in foul trouble and just saving saving Green's legs for the fourth quarter, like Kevon Looney has been doing. But I guess it's not a great team to have Draymond Green start at the 5 with Jokic, their best player, just being able to take it to him. Trying to think, their next matchup, whether or not Curry can get into the starting lineup. It's an odd Warriors year. It feels like they're the favorite to come out of the Western Conference right here, right now. But it's also odd on the other hand. What's their starting lineup going to be for the next round? They will, I think, adjust it as we go along. I don't think Curry's going to be the guy who comes off the bench until the NBA Finals.
No, it's going to be Poole. They're going to send Poole to the bench. He's a 6th man, and Steph Curry is the starter. Like, Jordan Poole is Steph Curry Jr. for a reason. Yeah. So I think that's a pretty easy change to make. Like you're saying, Looney's just going to foul. He's just going to be out there to be the big body and save Draymond, because their death lineup, whatever we're going to call it, is what's going to finish the game. But that's not so going to start. Time to start Curry.
Yeah.
He's playing a lot of minutes now. 37 minutes yesterday. No problem.
Kerr was just doing the thing like, Poole's on fire. Let's just keep running with this until it finally falters a little bit. And it did in Game 4 here. He had a bad game shooting the ball. Let's go to Saturday. The Jazz beating the Mavericks. That series tied at 2 games apiece. Mitchell throwing the lob to Gobert for the game-winning dunk. They spoil Luka Doncic's return. He's back. Looked pretty good. The line's solid overall. But this one 2-2 test. Another pivotal Game 5 coming up.
Yes, a pivotal Game 5, and if you had to write a movie script ending to this game, it would be the 2 guys who have been butting heads for years, getting together for a game winner. Mitchell, lob, Gobert, a huge mama jama. That was a big jam. And also, as far as the movie script goes, they've been so bad in clutch situations this season. And Mitchell setting up a guy that, he hasn't been passing to. We showed you examples on Friday's show. It just feels like a temporary fix. It doesn't feel like this can go on. It doesn't feel like the Jazz have all of a sudden fixed it, to me. I think this is going to change going into Game 5. But anyways, for this moment, they had a chest bump post-game. Were both guys feeling it? I guess so. You had Rudy Gobert in the post-game interview talking to Matt Weiner, asked about all this chatter that they're, not together. And the TNT audio wasn't so good hearing it live, but he definitely said, fuck the talk. Yep. And that's what he said. And for this game, they got it right. But Luka looking really great. That could have been the game winner just before the slam dunk. Yeah.
I was so close to tweeting our meme of us, singing that In Memoriam song, and I always put like the dying rose. I was like, well, the Jazz are done. When Luka hit that 3, I was like, okay, that's it. They're going to lose this game. They're going to go on to lose this series. And I caught myself. I said, hold on, do I really need to tweet this? Might come back to bite me in the ass. And amazingly, Mitchell got the N1. Dwight Powell missed free throws after a beauty pass. Yeah. And then the lob,
They were up 4 with 30 seconds left. And then missed free throws and N1, as he said.
I just didn't love the body language either. There was a play where Mitchell got hurt, remember? Or he fell and sort of got hurt, and then he goes over to the bench. Nobody checked on him. Nobody. And I was like, oh, God, this is bad. It was like somewhere in the fourth quarter. Like, nobody came to be like, you all right, man? You okay? Like, I mean, players. I think one of the staff of that came over. Somebody's job it is to check on him. And
he did fall into minority owner Dwayne Wade earlier in the series. And I was watching the Jazz broadcast at the time, and they said, well, you got to love that. Dwayne Wade picking up his star player. But at first, Dwayne Wade threw up the knees. And not because he wanted to hit Mitchell in the back, but because he's
protecting the boys.
He's looking out for number one.
Right.
So I don't know. This team, this franchise is not all on the same page. I'm not buying this 2-2 going into Dallas. Dallas still has the advantage. They had a bad game. Jalen Brunson finally had a bad game. He's had a really, really, really good series. Been the best player in this series. Dinwiddie had a bad game. I know everybody can shoot better. I think Doncic probably plays more. The fact that they looked great with Luka in his first game of the playoffs, I think that bodes well for this team. I'm not buying that kumbaya moment. Just can't. Bojan Bogdanovic, another unheralded player. I think Brandon Ingram, a very unheralded player in this league. Bojan was good, really good at guarding Jalen Brunson. You don't think of him as a defensive player, but he can get after it on the defensive end. He played solid. Even if he didn't score, he played solid on Brunson, who had his worst game of the series. I thought was really, really important. And maybe you could say the same about Donovan Mitchell. He's 7 of 21 and not shooting well in this series. Will he have an explosion of a game and help out?
Yeah,
I suppose.
He definitely could.
But it feels like now the Mavs almost have the two best players in this series. I know that's probably pushing Brunson to a height that he's never faced or never been at.
Yeah.
But I don't care. It feels like in this series they should be the favorites now with 3 games left.
The Jazz were happy that Jordan Clarkson finally hit shots off the bench. He had 25 points in 36 minutes and hit a couple threes and got to the line a little bit. What do you think about that game and this series? I mean, it's a weird one to figure out.
Yeah, I'm kind of most curious to see how the Jazz respond in Game 5. Like, does this matter? Is this really going to be like the galvanizing force for the Jazz, or is it just going to be like one cool moment to not have a bitter taste in your mouth at the end of things? You mentioned it's a movie script. JD, which Lord of the Rings does Gandalf show up in? Like he comes over, like he used to be Gandalf the Grey, suddenly he's Gandalf the White, and he saves the day.
Sorry, you're asking me gray or white?
I don't know. I just know Gandalf shows up coming over a hill. He's got a staff. Maybe he shoots a light beam.
Yeah,
he's talking.
Okay, you're talking Helm's Deep. That's great. That's Gandalf the White.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. After he falls in the pit in Fellowship of the...
Yeah, and he's gone for a long time. That's, to me, what Donovan Mitchell alley-ooping to Rudy Gobert was. They don't pass to each other the entire time, except for in the darkest of moments. He finds him there for the alley-oop, Kobe to Shaq style. But will it matter in Game 5? I don't know. I think what matters more is that the Jazz have to get up more three-pointers. The Mavs have been doing a great job of running them off the line, and that's kind of the game plan for beating the Jazz, to make it a little bit tougher for them to score from the perimeter. So the Jazz really need to get untracked from that standpoint, because you have to imagine that Brunson will have a bounce back game. He's had 2 stinkers and 2 really great games. Dinwiddie has done nothing, and the offense was weird to me for the Mavericks, to be quite honest. Like, I thought Luka was moving okay. Maybe he was a little bit slower. He'll probably be better in Game 5, but the last possession that the Mavericks ran was pretty bad. They just kept dribbling into double teams until they ran out of time and got a rush Spencer Dinwiddie 3-point attempt that Gobert got a really good challenge on. So the Jazz did what they needed to do to extend this little era of their team. Let's see if they have some meals together before Game 5 and actually get on the same page and win here.
Yeah. Imagine they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner together same day. That could happen after this moment. Well, you're going to say something, though.
Yeah. What does Gandalf eat? I don't know. Maybe they can recommend some. Does the Gandalf ever eat?
I don't think you ever see him eat on camera.
He's like a psychedelics kind of guy.
100%. Yeah, he just smokes his weed, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
And that was interesting not to see Jason Kidd advance the ball.
You're right.
On the Spencer Dinwiddie shot that didn't go down. He said that they've done it before, and I guess the thinking behind it is, instead of inbounding in the front court, you get a little bit more space on Doncic. You can't double him as hard if you pass it, from the sideline. But that's what ended up happening, and they took it away, and they didn't have a lot of time. Spencer Dinwiddie has hit game winners from that exact spot.
Yeah.
But Gobert was there, And
they made the right defensive move. It's like, all right, let's see Spencer do it again. Not Doncic after he just undressed Rudy Gobert on the last one, which was incredible. So that was the right call there by Quinn Snyder. I mean, honestly, when they were down 4 with 30 seconds to go, it was like, your season's done. And they somehow, I mean, Dwight Powell, those were bricks.
Those were bricks. Yeah. I mean, Gobert is lucky he missed those. Dwight Powell did, because Gobert missed. He left a lot at the free throw line.
I think he went 9 for 18 in the end. But you know, I mean, you don't make excuses for a guy, but Powell's just got to put one of those a little bit closer, and then they probably go on to win this game. Let's say it goes to overtime, but the Jazz somehow it's weird. I mean, they're hanging on. They shouldn't be like, oh, it's a write-off this series. They're still in it. This could go either way.
Best of 3 now in that series, and Gobert did work on the glass too. I mean, 10 offensive rebounds, and that was something I remember we talked about earlier in the season. I thought the Mavs were doing a great job of like gang rebounding. Even if Rudy was like getting his hands on the ball, here comes a bunch of other arms like knocking it out and stuff like that. But that wasn't happening. He was securing that, and they tied this series up. We'll see what happens in Game 5. Final Western Conference matchup here before we take our first break. Saturday again, Towns and the Wolves, they rebound to even their series with the Grizzlies at 2 games. So we have 3 series all right now in the Western Conference that are tied at 2 games apiece, which is very fun. Which one, just I'll ask you right here before we get into this game and the series in particular, like which one do you think is most likely to go 7? Of the 3 series, Suns-Pelicans, Jazz Mavs, and then this one, Wolves Grizzlies. Which one is most likely to go to the distance?
I'm not just saying this because we're leading into this game, but it sure feels like
you think it's this one?
It's the M&M series. Yeah, it has to be. Tasty.
Very tasty. Yeah. Okay, do you agree with that? It's this one more than any of them?
Yeah, M&Ms are tasty. I agree. Yeah, this has got to be the one. It feels like they're just going back and forth with which team really gets performances from their stars, kind of. And when that's the case, that's who's going to win. So yeah, I mean, this seemed like it was a 7-game series going into it, and it still feels like it after 4 games.
And Leigh, same question.
Yes, I think so. I mean, if Karl Anthony Towns plays the way he did in Game 4, which was like finally not barreling through people and just hitting guys left and right. He was sidestepping, he was Euro-stepping, he was being effective. I mean,
getting to the line.
Yeah, exactly. 17 free throws, 33 points and 14 rebounds. Now, he turned it over 6 times. Fine. You can live with that because he was playing smarter than he had played in any other game this series. So now this was a 1-point game, but it technically wasn't a 1-point game because a bomb came as time ran out there. It was technically a
Tyus Jones had a chance to tie it though very, very late with a wide open 3 on the wing that he missed on. But Towns, in the clutch, it was a 2-point game. He hit a running jumper. Then he hit a one-legged little step back from 15 feet, and then he hit a 3 up top, and then he finished like that 10-point run with another catch-and-shoot 3 to make it 108-104, I think it did at that point. And then he hits those free throws late, too, 4.5 seconds to go, steps to the line, knocks him down, and gets the win. He was awesome, and he silenced a lot of the critics there after the brutal games 2 and 3. This is what they need from him.
Absolutely. And now, can he put 2 games together back to back? That's the key for me. Like, can he play smart games where he's not getting himself in foul trouble and he's not sort of looking around like, oh, bail me out, refs. Instead, he's playing smart because Xavier Tillman started this game. He got speaking of memes, he got the Grandpa Simpson walking into the strip club, seeing Bart Simpson on the door and then walking straight back out again. But that's the way it should be. If you're Karl Anthony Towns, they've tried now 3 different guys on you because you are a very good player and you should be able to dominate these guys. So that's what they do in Game 4 will be interesting now. I think they might go Brandon Clark. Or, no, Kyle Anderson started, didn't he? So it might be actually Kyle Anderson.
It's been everyone's had a chance to start for the Grizzlies.
And that's a great problem for the Timberwolves are putting on Memphis. It's like you haven't got a solution here for Karl Anthony Towns.
Not when he plays like that, for sure. After this game, Taylor Jenkins ripping the officials. These games are taking a long time.
Oh, boy.
They're taking very long, these games.
I want anyone complaining about the refs, 5-game suspension minimum immediately. So Joel Embiid's getting 5 games, Monty Williams getting 5 games. Wow. Because honestly, like the easiest and the sloppiest and cheapest way after a loss to say, oh, the refs screwed us. Oh, they screwed the other team in the other. But we're not talking about the refs in the other game we won. The games we lost, the refs screwed us.
You don't agree that this was an inconsistent and arrogant officiated game, though?
I think
I might, because there's been some of these, and not just this series. Why are guys not allowed to rebound anymore? I think that's my number one now foul. That's like everybody talks about the take fouls and stuff like that, stop fast breaks and all that. We all hate it. It's garbage. Get rid of it. Fix the game. But you're not allowed to rebound. There's no physicality allowed on a rebound. That's when it should be allowed to me.
Yeah,
there should be a little bumping, a little grabbing, a little, and they call, every second or third rebound, somebody hits the ground or gets called for holding. I hate this.
Yeah.
Let them play on a rebound. Like, that's a 50-50 ball. Let the guys battle for it a bit.
On a loose ball when it's a contested,
happens
yes.
all the
but
time
the guy who sort of seemingly comes over the back as well, that's automatically.
Okay,
a loose-
yeah,
I'm saying they call that, but they shouldn't even necessarily call that. Like, if you're contesting
let
for
them
it,
fight for it a little bit.
No, I don't. I look. There's things that frustrate me, but what makes me even madder is people just blaming the refs after a loss.
Well,
if you fall, if you fall, that's when you get the call.
It's driving me nuts.
It's like
If you fall, you get a call.
If you fall, you get a call. Really,
Yeah,
even when you're jostling.
I know.
That's a billboard, you know.
Yeah.
NBA refs billboard. If you fall, you get a call.
Call Dr. Ken, not doctor. Call lawyer Ken. You know, it's an injury lawyer.
Yeah.
Lawyer. I can't talk. Anyways, if you fall, one number. #law. That's all. Nah. I'm literally combining every injury lawyer commercial I've ever heard down here.
You were just stuck in traffic. You probably saw a lot of
I saw all the billboards.
Get hit, call Neil Flitt.
Memphis has been called for 99 fouls to Minnesota's 111 through 4 games. This is a lot of foul calls. But the Grizzly Bears have shot 131 free throws to the Wolves 118.
The Wolf Dogs.
Yeah. So the Bears shooting more than the Dogs. But this one was, it obviously tilted in favor of the Wolves. What do you think?
Karl Anthony Towns obviously came out pretty damn focused, and that changed things for sure. So Game 5, I'm a little bit more worried about Ja Morant than I am Karl Anthony Towns. Morant slowed down, and his last 2 games just hasn't put a lot of points on the board because the Wolves are doing a good job of clogging it. And that was a worry going into the postseason.
Yep.
Is the Memphis Grizzlies offense that relies so much on fast break points and second chance points, and Ja Morant's penetration going to slow down. And he has slowed down. And I'm a little bit worried about the Grizzlies because the guys who are really keeping the offense afloat are Desmond Bane and...
Wait, hold on. Let's just address that before somebody in the comments says, "Did who farted?"
It was a chair move.
Chair move. Okay, good. Moving
fart.
on.
Yeah,
No fart. Borgia
Let's go to Borgia.
Monty McCutcheon comes in.
Well, you hear the squeak of the chair.
I mean, that was a good one.
And then we'll need a little oil can Boyd on that.
It's getting humid down here. That's why.
That's right.
Anyways, the guys who are really helping out this offense are shooters, are Dillon Brooks and Desmond Bane. They have been scorching at Dillon Brooks in this game, Desmond Bane throughout the series. He's been their best player. Just a little worried about the Grizzlies. I think Karl Anthony Towns has figured it out somewhat here, just to be a little bit more aggressive, and Ja Morant is on the other side.
Well, Ja's saying it. Like, I haven't been Ja Morant. That's what he is saying.
Yeah, he says
he knows it.
Still injured.
Yeah, and also Jaren Jackson Jr. needs to stay on the floor, and stop your dumb fouls. I mean, they need you out there. You obviously impact their defense too. So
that's big.
It's a
23 minutes for him.
Weird series, this one. And I'll just add, for the Wolves, Jordan McLaughlin was huge. I mean, 16 points. He had 4 from deep in just 14 minutes. Shined a little pesky defense out there too, and he was a team best +6. But 4 threes from this guy. This guy's not a knockdown 3-point shooter. I checked. He's made 27 threes this season. He doesn't shoot a whole lot, but he's a 32% 3-point shooter, and he didn't even play in Game 3. So that is like some found money right there. He hit a big one late too. He splashed that massive 3 that when the Grizzlies had cut the lead to 5. So that's, a guy that you weren't even playing, that not known as a 3-point shooter, comes in and hits you 4 out of 4. That's awesome.
That's the kind of thing that sometimes just happens in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like you just throw a guy out there. Blake Griffin hit a couple of threes the other night for the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously a veteran, he's been around, but a non-factor in the series. But what about also the defense from the security guard on Saturday night for the
protesters?
Yeah. That security guard was just like eagle eye watching, and as soon as that girl went out, boom, down. Incredible stuff.
But the Wolves can't lose when they have a protest. Anything to add to Grizz-Wolves? Everybody agrees this one's going 7.
This one's going 7.
It's going to take forever to get there, but it'll be 7.
I just thought of this take. Tell me if it's crazy. The Grizzlies are missing Steven Adams' screens. Perhaps Ja Morant is having a harder time getting space in the half court because Steven Adams is not playing in this series. The guy sets massive screens, and that is probably the best half-court offense that you get from the Grizzlies is screen and roll with Ja Morant, let him create with a little bit of an advantage. Without Adams out there, there's just tons of bodies in the lane, it feels like, when Ja's going in. He's just kind of diving into the lane and hoping for a foul call. Very Russell Westbrook-esque. He gets compared to Westbrook a ton. And that's Westbrook at his worst, is when he's just flying into the lane and hoping for somebody to bail him out. And I think we've seen a lot of that from Ja Morant. So it'll be interesting to see if the Grizzlies are able to get any more playmaking on the court, which is why it'll probably be Kyle Anderson, I would imagine, will step into the starting lineup for Tillman, because Tillman didn't really do much in this one. You got your good Tillman game, and we can move him to a bit more of a minor reserve role, because I love what Brandon Clark's been bringing in this series. His athleticism, his effort has been huge, but you probably need something on the bench if you're going to be the Grizzlies. So this one could turn. Once again, this just feels like it's going to go back and forth. Like, I think Ja will probably have a bounce back game here, and it's going to be imperative that Karl Anthony Towns has another good game. He's been up and down so far in the postseason here.
I like the take. I like the
actually think all of these fouls being called in this series, it benefits the Wolves overall too, because at the very least the Grizzlies are not getting they're not getting the stop or getting the rebound and gunning in transition. It's like, nope, foul. We're at the free throw line. Bog it down, and then set your defense. And the Grizzlies are struggling a little bit in the half court set. So even though the Wolves overall have been called for more fouls, like I said, it's probably beneficial to them because it's taking away the one thing the Grizzlies are wanting to do, of course, that we saw in the regular season. All right, let's take a break. Those are the Western Conference series. Let's do some live ad reads, and then we'll get to the East. Oh, it's been so long. Let's do it.
Saks is obsessed with the comfort of your manhood. They make the most comfortable underwear for men thanks in large part to their patented ballpark pouch. Because look, in my day-to-day wear, you guys know I'm a boxer short man, have been for decades. I like the free-flowing fit south of the border. Yep. But when it comes to exercise, working out, or especially playing basketball, that's when I need to pack it in tight downstairs. And that's where Saks comes in. Because when I play basketball, only the Wilson ball should bounce. And Saks, with their 2-in-1 sports shorts, have found the right pair for my pair. Each style comes with an integrated liner and the ballpark pouch. That's their patented technology that holds your balls in place. And it does work. I've worn these playing basketball.
Hell yeah, man.
And I like them because I'm like,
I too like them.
Yeah. My men aren't running around. They're staying at home when I play, which is good. I like a fast break normally, not when I'm running around.
You like a full court press.
You don't want your balls to get on a break before you.
Because you just don't have to worry about wearing underwear under your shorts. It's 2-in-1. That's what you put on a pair of shorts, you're locked in.
You're always running the triangle offense. With your Dickens and your balls.
I am. Very effective sometimes. Look, it's all integrated. You've got your 4-way stretch shell, breathable mesh liner. That's the other thing is, even though it's packed in tight, you're not suffocating your fellas.
It's a bit of a box in one, I'd say. one flowing freely and just all boxed together.
Look, I like the camaraderie down there. Everyone feels at ease.
A lot of high fives.
They're all on the same page. Good chemistry.
They are. Its breathable liner is made from a moisture-wicking material and comes with a hidden stash pocket. What are you putting in there? I don't know. I haven't used that yet. I have to say, I haven't used it. I'm not hiding anything in there. You know?
I don't know what to put in. That's like a key, but I'm never just like one key with me. Maybe a third ball.
I wear a mouth guard, but I'll keep that. I'll keep those two separate. You know. Interesting. I'm going to see if I can hide something like a Survivor. What's that?
Hidden immunity idol.
Yeah. Maybe you guys have to discover what it is.
That's actually smart. If you ever go on Survivor, wear Saks underwear. You got this little compartment that you're saying.
Yeah.
100%.
Just good underwear on the island. Yeah. All right.
And of course, listen, my favorite part of any of our ads we do, everything is backed by Saks Comfort Guarantee. 100% satisfaction or your money back. Saks talks the talk and walks the walk. Take advantage of our special offer today. Head over to Saks.com/NoDunks and get 10% off plus free shipping using promo code NoDunks. That's SAXX.com/NoDunks and promo code NoDunks for 10% off and free shipping.
This guy was fired up to do a Saks live ad read, I'll tell you that.
Hey, listen,
you brought it.
Well, when we get the product and you've experienced it, then you just feel like you're giving a more genuine ad read.
Oh yeah, man.
You know,
I believed every word you said there.
Thank you. So Ferrari, if you're listening.
JD, what do you got, my man?
Yeah, Grammarly, my old friend. Grammarly's free and premium features can save you time and give you the confidence of knowing your writing is professional. Now, me, I'm a lot of things. Professional, I don't really consider myself very professional. It's kind of a side effect of, rolling out of bed in your jammies, coming down to your garage and cranking out a classic with your friends. I mean, is this even a job? I mean, it doesn't really feel like it. But the reality is we work for a massive company, And Grammarly really helps me communicate with our colleagues with clarity, with clarity adjustments, formality level, and my favorite, tone detector. One time, I actually ruined someone's weekend. She told me that because of one of my emails. I don't care for your tone, her email said to me. It's very terse. And I was being terse. In fact, I was being rude, but she must have been using Grammarly because terse really nails it and makes her sound very professional. And Grammarly has a ton of features and helps you save time, strike the right tone, and deliver high-quality work with things like Grammarly Premium's full sentence rewrites, which help you effectively convey your ideas and avoid miscommunication. And of course, I've already mentioned it, Grammarly's free tone detector. You don't even need the premium version for that one, and it ensures your message is never misinterpreted. Get through those emails and your work quicker by keeping it concise, confident, and effective with Grammarly. Go to Grammarly.com/NoDunks to sign up for a free account. And when you're ready to upgrade to Grammarly Premium, get 20% off just for being a No Dunks listener. That's 20% off at GRAMMARLY.com/NoDunks.
Peloton. Part of the new ads.
My old friend.
You gotta say the name right away. But to be quite honest, I'm pretty excited to have today's Peloton ad read because I stayed with my friend Adam and his partner Amanda over the weekend, and they are true Peloton power users. They love Peloton so much that I stayed there after the Bulls game, Game 3, Friday night to Saturday morning. I woke up Saturday morning, and they had both already done multiple Peloton workouts.
Wow!
Before I had even woke up, I didn't even sleep in late. I mean, later than them, obviously, but that's not hard to do with high octane Hanson. So I asked them what they like so much about Peloton, why they're Pelo heads. Got some good answers. Such good answers that I wish I had recorded them just to play back today.
Wow.
Amanda, she loves all the different trainers. She's a big Cody Rigsby fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the banana guy.
He's the banana man, huh?
Yeah.
Well.
He eats bananas while he's working out.
What?
Yeah. Well, he does like 75-minute rides.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
This guy's crazy. Well, she did make sure to tell me that she liked him before he was on Dancing with the Stars. That's like the indie cred of Peloton right now, I think.
Yeah.
For strength workouts, though, Callie Gullickson is her favorite. She's a Callie cat. As for Adam, this guy is basically a Peloton spokesman. He's doing the outdoor runs, the strength workouts, the yoga, the stretching, and he's even hitting the bike with the most giant pair of Peloton shoes I've ever seen in my life. I think he said they were 16s. He should be a 15 and a half, but they don't make them. These things were like gigantic, man. Very funny. He was trying to convince me during Game 4 that we could get a quick pump in between games.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, like before the second game, Warriors Nuggets started, and Amanda chimed in, "Ooh, you could do that 5-minute core workout we do every day." We didn't.
Okay.
Neither of them mentioned the boxing or the dance cardio, but it's just a matter of time because Peloton has a workout for every goal, day, and mood. To learn more, either stay with my friend Adam or visit onepeloton.com. That's ONEPELOTON.com.
I got a high five from a No Dunks fan today while I was working out on
Just
Peloton.
saw that on Twitter, yeah.
Deke Barron and I, big high five. That was an extra pump up high five.
Is that during it or after? Or
We were working out the same time.
Oh.
Doing the same workout at the same time. Live high five. So I high five myself. Thanks, Deke.
Awesome.
Felt good.
Awesome. Okay, if you're just joining us here a little late, hit that like button, subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Let's get into the Eastern Conference, the 4 first-round series. We'll start with the 2 games on Sunday, move to the 2 games on Saturday. Jimmy Butler, though. Jimmy Butler's locked in.
Yeah.
He's back to being the man, working hard, kicking ass. 36 points as the Heat overwhelm Trey Young and the Hawks. 110 86. Yeah. Did you end up going?
No, I didn't. A
Sunday's
little
game
too
4?
much dadding for me this weekend. Couldn't get down to the Fortress.
Okay. Well, we missed you on Friday night for Game 3 with the Hawks win.
What
Check
a
out
great
the weekend
win,
shift, but Game 4 not so great.
No, and look, no Kyle Lowry in this one, and I think early on you saw that. I think the Miami Heat, because the Hawks were out to a nice lead, about 8 points with about 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. It was like, well, the Hawks are playing pretty well here, and then all of a sudden the Heat just decided, you're not going to score, and we're going to score all the points, and they went on a 28-4 run to end that second quarter, and then it was a bloodbath in the second half. Really, the Hawks never really had a fight, never really got close, never really were able to just crack through Miami. I mean, they're doing a great job on Trey Young. I know he hit that gorgeous floater on Friday night, but last night stifled. He went 3 of 11 from the field, 3 of 10 from downtown. So he basically couldn't get any action going there, and he didn't really get any help. DeAndre Hunter was okay. DeLon Wright, I think he's been a good player here for the Hawks. He was okay in this one. He wasn't great, but ultimately that Heat defense is just impenetrable when it's at its best. And the Hawks, certainly from halfway through the third quarter, had at least we didn't get swept vibe sort of to them. They were like,
at least
all
we
right.
gave Skeetsy a show on Friday.
Exactly. Yeah, Friday night was the one game winner, another Trey Young playoff game winner. Great stuff there. But extremely surprised I'll be if this one goes longer than 5 games now. And Kyle Lowry, the only real here concern for the Heat, hamstring strain. No one really knows what that means and how long he's going to be out. I would be very surprised if he plays game 5, considering I think the Heat can wrap this up and give him an extra day's rest here. So pretty good stuff from them, and not really much else to say. Hawks haven't been good enough in this series.
What do you think about this series?
Trey Young's shot chart, as you mentioned, 10 threes, 1 shot in the lane. He got a little peeved with a question after the game, asking basically, why didn't you get in the lane? He said, did you see the Heat defense? There was 5 guys in the lane. I couldn't get anywhere close to that. Well, then there should have been more threes, some more wide open threes anyways. I think they're doing a great job of keeping eyes on Young. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Maybe a little bit more Young off the ball would help. But I just think that Heat defense, I'm very, very certain, 6 minutes left in the second quarter, they just said to each other in the huddle, 3 stops, and we can take the head off this team right now. And Jimmy Butler started a press and stole an inbound pass.
Well, Collins helped him out on that.
That was a bad pass.
It was nice jump by Jimmy, great timing, but man, he threw it right at him.
Yeah, he was playing safety there in the middle of the lane. John Collins, the QB, decided to go over the middle, and easy pick for Jimmy Butler. But they started pressing because they know that they have that ability. They have this defense that can just turn it up. And in that huddle, I'm sure they said 3 possessions, 6 minutes here to finish this quarter. Let's finish this quarter. And they got that whole Heat bench excited. It was a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth to see so many Heat fans out there in Atlanta, like front row right there helping out the Miami Heat. They're a little too loud for my liking, but the Heat absolutely took over this game and silenced the Hawks crowd, and so it was unfortunate. I did want to see more Trey, either getting into the lane, getting off the ball, doing more, because he was really just passing it and standing around for a lot of this game when he's way too freaking good for that. And I guess the worrisome part is that maybe he hurt his foot earlier on in this game. Usually when you see a foot-to-foot hit, it's the guy stepping on another guy's foot. But in this instance, it was Gabe Vincent stepping on his foot, and he didn't look good the rest of the game. So maybe I'm giving him an excuse, but he definitely wasn't Trey Young. He was just kind of hanging out on the perimeter, and now it's 3-1. They had to. It's understandable that this Hawks team didn't win 2 games in a row. We didn't see that a lot this season. So
true.
They won on Friday. You went to the right game, Skeets.
I absolutely picked the right one over the weekend to go down to the Fortress for, even though it was delayed by an hour. It was a fun game to come back. But they were down big, too. Let's not forget. I mean, this could have very easily been a sweep if Bogdanović doesn't catch fire. That was the weird question to me about Game 4 here. It was like, why aren't you playing Bogdanović? I mean, you need some shots. You need some play. He only played like 21 minutes. A little. Not that he had a great game, but fascinating. And for the Heat, man, Spoelstra, it's amazing to me. I mean, he's earned it because he's won titles. He's been there for a long time. He has the full confidence of that organization. But, he doesn't start. Duncan Robinson barely doesn't play anymore. He's decided on that. Gabe Vincent in there in the starting lineup to take Lowry's spot. Strus is starting, and he's continued to start here, and he's played well. It's like he's allowed to do all this stuff. Dedmon, sorry, your minutes are done. It's just amazing. And, the more you watch the Heat, I can't tell because the Hawks are not a great team because they've been so inconsistent. But when Butler plays like this, Trey, tell me if I'm wrong. I look at them again and go, man, that is bubble heat. Why couldn't they go to the finals? Why couldn't they win this whole damn thing when he plays at this level? But am I going overboard because they're playing the Hawks? I can't decide that.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to tell because, like, one of the hallmarks of the Heat is consistent effort and showing up every night to play as hard as you possibly can. And I would say that is not a hallmark of the Atlanta Hawks all the time. Definitely a little bit of we're happy to have gotten one, I think, here. But, man, if Jimmy's going to be playing this well, it definitely raises the Heat's level because he was terrible in the playoffs in the first round last year.
Yeah.
The big stat was outscored by Bryn Forbes, and he was just basically a 0 for all 4 games of that sweep against the Bucks. But right now he's at 30 a game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, almost 3 steals, shooting the ball incredibly well, 54% from the field, 43 from 3. He has been a proven playoff player in the past. The rep took a little bit of a hit last year, no doubt about it, and I think that is obviously weighing on Jimmy's mind, and he's showing up and playing incredibly well, taking a little bit of the responsibility with Kyle Lowry being out, and then like you're saying, Skeets, there's no problem with the Heat ever like plugging another guy into the lineup. They're like, oh, Duncan Robinson, you can't shoot right now? Fine. Max Strus, get in there and chuck it up. 4 for 14 from 3. But who cares? Just shoot it every single time. Gabe Vincent showed up and played well, did just enough to take care of the job as a point guard. And even Victor Oladipo got dusted off for a little bit here. Didn't play incredibly well. 6 points on 3 of 10 shooting. But 23 minutes, and I mean, if Lowry's going to be out, you need somebody to take up some of those minutes. So if he's able to just contribute, that's nice. Because, I mean, Hero didn't do anything, and it didn't even really matter for the Heat yesterday. So they've looked good in their first round series. That was a crazy game on Friday night. They went on like one of the biggest runs in NBA playoff history, which I was happy to be watching, on my phone in the United Center.
Oh, boy.
but the Heat, outside of getting beat for a little dinker-dumper from Trey Young, have looked really good in the first round.
Yeah. Jimmy didn't like that run, though. He doesn't like when you go on a 21-0
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point. So explain it to people.
Well, so I think it was Rebecca Harlow on the call there last night saying she talked to Jimmy about that 21-0 run. He said, I don't like it because what happens then, you sort of get complacent and you get a bit sloppy. And the other team is going to fight back. And so guys think they're just going to keep on hitting shots. And they don't.
He prefers a game that it's like within a couple of possessions for a majority of the game.
Because then last night they went on a 15-0 run and then an 11-0 run in that second quarter alone. I mean,
so do you think he comes back to the bench? No, too much.
Let him score. Let him score.
Let's keep it around 8-7. Keep it tight. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, the Heat look good. They look great. And this one's ends in Miami, you think? This is a game 5
win? That would be my guess. Yeah, it's all on Trey, really. I know Bogdanović was great on Friday, but I wonder if the physicality is just bothering Trey a little too much on this team.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of eyes on him. They switch a lot of guys on him. They don't make it easy. And then he is like... He's forced in a way to just chuck it, to be honest. I mean, he can hit from... Don't get me wrong. He can hit from 10 behind the line. But... these shots he's taking are just like, I'm not going to get a better look in this possession. I'm going to let it go. And he hit one in game 3. He hit a bomb in game 3 to keep it close there. But most of the time they're not going in because they're not great shots, if we're being honest.
No, they're not. When he's in a flow and he sort of steps back and stretches the defense, it's like, okay, that's not bad. But when it's like, he's
flinging it because
that's the thing. It's so quick as well. He's got to get it off. So that certainly is, you can live or die by that 3, and he's dying by it right now. But there's just not a lot of other options out there. Gallinari's been, probably better than he should be for the Hawks as well. Like, they need other guys to contribute, just not getting it.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's go to the rough weekend for the Chicago Bulls and that Sunday game specifically. Now, you went to Friday's game, game 3, where they got hammered. They also get destroyed in game 4 on Sunday. Grayson Allen is the guy doing the damage. He scored 27 in game 4. Bucks beat the Bulls 119-95. They take the 3-1 lead. Trey, break it down.
Experiencing it, I wasn't even upset, but like hearing you say it back to me, I'm getting a little heated under the collar here. But before the playoffs, everybody thought the Bucks were going to walk all over the Bulls in this series. It's happened. Yeah, another blowout Bucks victory in the brunch time spot yesterday. A little bit better effort for the Bulls in game 4 compared to game 3, and they did have a lead in the first quarter, which was big time. But pretty much a replay of the game 3 blowout. Bobby Portis stayed in the starting lineup with Chris Middleton out. The Bucks are big already, but when you have Bobby Portis playing the 3, Brook Lopez as your 5, and Giannis being whatever position, just completely overwhelms the Bulls. It keeps the Bulls out of the lane on offense. They took no free throws in the first half of this game, and it was over by then. forces a ton of help from the Bulls when they're playing defense, which leads to wide open threes for the Bucks. Milwaukee went 17 of 33 from 3 in Game 4, and once again, the main beneficiary is the dastardly Grayson Allen. 27 points on a 10 of 12 shooting, 6 of 7 from 3. I wasn't even mad. I was like, look at the silver lining of this. This guy fits so perfectly with the Bucks right now that he's going to be a great villain to root against for years because they're going to keep him around, and he's going to keep burning the Bulls from time to time. And oh yeah, Giannis had 32, 17, and 7. And it barely felt like he was doing anything. Just an easy 32, 17, and 7. The Game 2 loss, Middleton going out kind of woke the Bucks up, I think. They won Games 3 and 4 by a combined 54 points, and I hate to say it, Bulls in 6 is not looking good anymore. I don't think they're gonna pull this one off here.
Yeah. Giannis is almost like he just didn't realize that playoffs had started for the first 2 games. He was still good, but then in Chicago he was just bully ball again, which is incredibly fun to watch because no one can get close to him. But the Bucks were like, man, we have to play 5 games in this series. We weren't expecting that Game 2, so let's go clean up business in Chicago and end this one. Tomorrow night I guess it will be. So.
No, they don't play till Wednesday, I don't think.
Wednesday.
It's a little bit of a break, yeah.
Delaying the inevitable by an extra day there. But, the real question, of course, is just Middleton and when they get him back, because they're going to face the Celtics likely in the second round. They're going to need Chris Middleton because, obviously, when it officially happens, we'll talk about it. But that defense from Boston is a lot better than what Chicago's got.
Thoughts on Bucks Bulls here?
Yeah, maybe they should prolong the series so Chris Middleton gets back healthier because this is
galaxy brain thing.
This series appears to be absolutely done. I thought Giannis Antetokounmpo's control of his body on those Euro steps was really, really impressive. How he's grown, how he can just slow that thing down, and everybody's just converging on him, and he just takes his time and makes the right decision, and that's why 5 of Grayson Allen's baskets were direct passes from Giannis Antetokounmpo getting into the lane and finding him and cash money from the corner. It was fun to watch Grayson Allen. I hate saying that, but he was.
It's true.
He was just playing his role, playing it perfectly. He was a starter on this team. Like Trey said, he just fits too freaking well. And it was also fun to watch Bobby Portis, the revenge against the Bulls. He's always sort of an irrational confidence guy, but put some goggles on this guy because of his eye injury. Put a team that he used to play for on the other side, and he's so confident. So the way when he releases that ball, there's multiple guys now on the Bucks that just look like they think they're going to hit every shot when it leaves their fingertips. Bobby and Grayson, and now Drew Holiday chipping in with a big game. And on the other side, Zach LaVine just ain't right. It sure feels like. And they're after that great win. Things have come back to earth. The Bucks, as we said, have started the playoff feel again because they're playing D again.
And Caruso only playing 17 minutes in Game 4 because of the concussion scare there. I mean, you're going to take him off the floor, then your chances of staying in the game are really going to go down. Any Game 3 reports, though, from Chicago? Obviously, it was a bad game for you being a Bulls fan, but you won tickets, Lollapalooza tickets. That
Game 3 was actually awesome. Aside from the Bulls losing by 30, the worst home playoff loss in franchise history, I had so much fun. First and foremost, shout out to all the No Dunk sickos I ran into at the United Center. That was cool. They got me on the Jumbotron right away. Just a little Bulls connection. One of my friends that I was with, his childhood best friend, was on the court and happened to be running the camera right in front of us. So he's like, "You guys are going to get on."
Oh, nice.
And shout out to him. He got us on in the first quarter. I think the Bucks went to I think the Bucks maybe called a timeout after Caruso hit a 3. I'm raging. Yeah. We're so excited. And then I looked up at the scoreboard. It was 17-9. I was like, what? Wait a second here. When did the Bulls get down by 8? I thought they were playing incredibly well. That was a bit of a bad sign. Then it was 33-17 after the first quarter. But I think it was the second quarter. Shout out to my guy Marlon. You ever been to a game and they say, anybody in this section, in this row, if such and such a guy, Marlon in my case, can finish the lyric to Green Day's Good Riddance, they played him 30 seconds of the song, and all he had to say was, I hope you had the time of my life. Yeah! Lollapalooza! We're celebrating with Marlon, buying him beers. What else was great? So I gotta wait for that. I gotta wait for my tickets to come in the mail. They had the amazing Sladek at halftime, the balancing band. Yeah, that got a lot of pops. And even better though was that since he was there, Benny the Bull did the amazing Benny. He's on a table. he's stacking up plastic chairs. You know, he's dressed in like the vest and the fancy shirt, but he's just stacking chairs. He's not getting up on them, but then everybody's going crazy. Benny hit the half-court shot, did the percolator, so I'm twerking up there because I think that's like one of the best moments you can possibly have at a Bulls game. I know the guy sitting next to me was recording it. I could see it out of the corner of my eye, but I'm a true professional, so I kept hitting the twerks.
Nice.
Didn't want to give him the satisfaction, but if you follow this guy and you somehow see it, let me know. I would love to track it down. And we also formed the Tony Bradley fan club, which was big time because the Bulls got smashed in this game, obviously. But Tony Bradley went 5 of 5 in the fourth quarter. Scored 10 points. The Bulls won the fourth quarter of that game in Game 3, and Tony Bradley scored the bucket to put them over 80 points, which is like a big milestone that we were tracking in the second half of the game. Will the Bulls get to 80? They got to 81, and we went crazy. Shout out to all the fans around us that actually stuck around because most everybody left. About 8 minutes left, and we're like, well, might as well stay here since we're not beating the crowd.
Yeah.
They beat us, but we also came up with a new nickname for Tony Bradley. The dude wipe of the NBA.
Okay.
Because the Bulls dookied their pants in Game 3.
But
Tony Bradley came in right at the end and cleaned it up just a little bit. So shout out to Tony Bradley, the dude wipe of the NBA.
Wow.
No minutes, though, in Game 4. I would start him. I would start Tony Bradley. One guy's 100% from the field. Come on. So, yeah, if you're ever going to go see your team get absolutely smashed at home, and there's a classic game where you're living 20 minutes away, the best way to do it is with friends that you haven't seen for quite some time. We had a lot of fun, except for the Bulls, losing by 30.
But like you said, I mean, you hadn't seen these guys in a while. At a certain point, you're down 25. You're not coming back. Now we can almost like worry about the game less. And catch
totally.
up. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I guess fun. I mean you probably weren't really expecting the Bulls to like hammer them either. Like, I mean, like if you're
when it was 17-9 in the first quarter, you don't think he believed?
No, but what I mean is even going into this game, like this whole series, like you even said beforehand, there's not really that many expectations there. So it wasn't like, wow, what a letdown. It was more like, we have a fun game anyway.
I didn't see a single person pick the Bulls to win the series. And he was like, he didn't even want to say Bulls in 6. He only had to for the sake of the show. Yeah. Because he's a Bulls fan. Yes. But even he didn't want to do it. No. So, yeah. But, okay, good. Good report there.
Yeah, it was
you just reminded me with your halftime act that at the Hawks game on Friday night, pre-game Christian and Scooby.
Wow.
I know. That's couldn't believe it.
Well, must have something to get to.
I don't know what halftime was. I wasn't out there for halftime, but I don't think it was him and the dog. Yeah. And
Maybe brought out another dog?
I don't know. Fascinating.
Yeah, that is wild. I did see Sladek. Always a good time. It's worrisome. How old is he? 50.
He's late 50s, I think.
Wow. Getting up there. I just checked Tony Bradley's basketball reference page. The dude wipe of the NBA. Not there yet. But he has no other nicknames.
Give it a day.
So why not? And the Lollapalooza, that's actually to the event. That's to the festival.
Yeah, a little unsure if we only get like a single day ticket for when Green Day is the headliner, but I'm not going to be able to go. I'm already traveling that weekend, so.
Oh man.
Maybe we'll make a stop in Chicago before flying out to Hawaii.
All right. Well, we have 2 other series to address here. Saturday, oh my God. I can't believe of all the series, this is the one that could be a sweep. Tatum and Brown lead the Celtics to the 109-103 victory on Saturday task. They take the 3-0 lead over the Nets. We have some Ben Simmons update too that we can address if you want to, but where do you want to start?
What a dud. What a dud of a basketball game. It's unbelievable that the Nets are the only team that haven't won a game left in the postseason, and all the Eastern Conference series, 3-1 or 3-0 in this case. It's surprising to me. I thought the first game going back to Brooklyn, there would be a little bit of momentum, a little bit of energy, and there were some fans and stuff, but there was no doubt the Celtics were going to win this game. Even though if it got to 6, when Blake Griffin hit a couple of those, or became a 2-possession game when Blake Griffin hit those threes, they just picked on him on the other end. But I mean, going back to game 1, Kevin Durant wasn't able to have a great game, and he got in his own head. The Celtics got in his head, and he just hasn't been able to get out because Kevin Durant is not playing anywhere close to Kevin Durant basketball. Kevin Durant can just come up in transition, pull up and shoot those threes. Not even close to shooting those right now. Getting to the elbow. He's not even shooting from there. He's passing out. his last shot in this game was with 11 minutes left. He didn't shoot the rest of the game. He's overpassing, and everyone is expecting him to shoot because that's what they've done all season long. So the drop-off in this series from game one, where obviously Tatum hit that game winner, to now where the Nets don't look anywhere close to themselves. I mean, Durant doesn't look anywhere close to himself, and the excuses post-game. That's what the part that angers me. Kevin Durant not looking like himself, not shooting. That's unfortunate, but I can't stand the Kyrie excuses about, well, you look over there and they've been together for months and we haven't. And forget about the reasons as to why Kyrie hasn't been playing. But in the regular season, Kyrie was saying, let's just get to the playoffs. Let's just get to the playoffs and we'll see what happens. And now there's excuses coming from that locker room. The tune has changed. I just spent way too much time talking about this team in the regular season, thinking that they could come together. And again, game one is a one-possession game, and why they've fallen apart is really because Kevin Durant hasn't been himself. But
a big part of that is Jayson Tatum's defense on him, too. I mean, I didn't think Tatum had this in him on the defensive end.
No, he's been blocked twice. He's literally
another level.
We usually say Kevin Durant's shot cannot be blocked. Jayson Tatum has blocked his shot twice, even if they called one a foul. He's literally blocked his shot a couple times. But Kevin Durant's in his own head, I think. I mean, the overpassing, they're not. Everyone is expecting him to shoot at the very least. He has space, and you see him turning the ball over and over and over again because guys are just waiting for their number one guy, the guy that they relied on to shoot, and he's not capable of doing that. The Celtics have, they've.
I mean, their defense is elite. It's some of the best defense we've seen in a long time.
They have shaken Kevin Durant, but it's just odd to see Kevin Durant like this, and the fact that this team has fallen apart since that game one. And this series obviously is over, and the Celtics get Robert Williams back, which is great for them. He only played 15 minutes. They obviously don't really even need him in this series, but 24 days in a return since undergoing meniscus surgery. He can take it slowly these next couple of games because he helps take their defense to another level, but he won't be needed in this series because it's over. The way the Celtics are imposing their will on the other team, they've got the character, and the Nets absolutely do not. And the Ben Simmons thing is, it's a joke. It's over. He's not playing in the series. What, is he going to come back in Game 5?
He's going to see how his back feels the day before. That's my favorite part about the whole thing.
Nash laughed it off as well when he was asked before Game 3. Is he going to play in Game 3? Nash just laughed. And because people are asking, how does Nash not know about Ben Simmons' status? Well, I frankly, the guy can't come play in the middle of a series where it's this intense. Maybe at the beginning of the series, maybe that would make sense, but Nash laughs it off, and there's a disconnect between Simmons' camp and the coaching staff. It just feels like, as Trey said last week, they're putting out reports that he wants to play. Hey, look at me. I would like to be talked about. That's what it feels like. I mean, he can't be coming back to play now. He can't.
Well, no, it's not. Well, he's not playing in Game 4. Yeah, we'll see whether there is a Game 5. The most fascinating part to me, like I made a joke about it, but it is like, okay, so he said to Woj and Shams, his camp, Simmons' camp, I've been 10 days free of pain in the back, this herniated, disc that he had. But then suddenly, the day before the game, after they go down 3-0, suddenly he's not going to be able to play. That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, okay, his back flared up, but maybe wait until the day of the game even? Doesn't that make more sense? Like, I've had back issues. It can change from day to day. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like, the day it's going to hurt on game day when we're down 3-0. You don't know that. So that part's strange.
It's very strange. But what I just don't understand is, again, he's not coming off an injury. He's been there for over 2 months. How is he not in game shape?
Well, yeah.
How is that possible? And then how is it he's like, I'm excited. And then he's been sitting around. He looks, he's got a style for sure on the sidelines there. And then he's like, I'm injured now. What's he been doing to get injured? I don't understand it. It's so weird here. But the Kevin Durant situation for me is not dissimilar to what Trey Young is getting from Miami, where he's like, give me a second to get these shots off, guys. Yeah. Because every single time, whether it's a switch or a double, it's like it's Tatum and Smart or Horford or Brown. He's like, Jesus, is there one guy I can exploit here? He normally can, and he just can't.
Yeah, he's flustered.
And he played 46 minutes as well. I think that is becoming a factor. And Kyrie had a game of like, I don't really want to go back to Boston, thanks. I'm happy to take a sweep. He did not seem to me, ever since that game one fourth quarter where Kyrie felt like he was right in control of himself. Since then, he's been like, I don't really feel like it anymore. So this one may get dragged out to 5 games. I don't think so, though. I think the Nets tonight get down and they're just like, yeah, who cares? Because they don't have that camaraderie.
Yeah, Kyrie 6 of 17 in game 3 there. Missed all 7 3-pointers, and he only had 16 points, just like Durant. What do you think?
Well, the Celtics have had the 2 best players in this series, and this is a series going in, you think, well, at least the Nets have the 2 best players, and they just haven't been. It's weird because I feel like you don't expect this from Kevin Durant, but maybe you should, because at the end of his tenure in every single place, OKC, Golden State, who knows what's going on with Brooklyn here, the games end with him just standing on the wing. Somebody pass me the ball. Somebody pass me the ball. And that's exactly what's happening here. Everybody's blaming Steve Nash for them not running plays. Kevin Durant offenses just don't run plays in the playoffs. This guy's an ISO scorer. He's going to get you some buckets. But that hasn't been the case. He's just completely flustered and doesn't seem to know where his shots are going to come or where they're going to come from. There's no way that the Nets will win a game if Bruce Brown is their leading scorer. Yeah. Like, he scored 26, 32 combined from Kyrie and KD. So super impressive from the Celtics to completely beat the Nets in this series. You know, this was one that looked like a toss-up. I got bamboozled in this one thinking that a couple of ISO players were going to be enough, but apparently the regular season matters, and getting your players on the same page and committed to the same goal obviously is a big-time thing, because the Celtics look great. It's going to be a cool series to see them playing against the Bucks, a team that, you know, maybe tried to avoid the Nets and now is going to have to run into the Celtics anyway, who look like an absolute buzzsaw. Tatum, though, becoming the best player in this series, that's impressive, because we've talked a lot going into the series, like Kevin Durant can turn it on defense too. Tatum has turned it on defense. He's gone to another level here. So he's had some great playoff performances in the past. This is his best run so far.
Yeah, I mean, he had 39 points, but it didn't feel like he was out there just cooking them, because they got so many contributions from everyone. And again, the Nets made a couple of sort of fake-ish runs. Yeah. Every time it felt like that, Boston was like, all right, just play hard for another 2 minutes, put the lead back out to 12, 15, and that'll see them off. And they hit a couple of threes, they had to do it again. But Jaylen Brown, I mean, defensively as well, he's just a pest. I love watching him play defense. He's great.
Well, this is the amazing part. The guy that just won Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart, elite defensive guard, but you could convince me in a lot of Celtics games that Tatum and Brown are better defenders. There's the Time Lord coming back and all that. That's how amazing this defense is. They forced 21 turnovers. And they forced a lot of those, but some sloppy play from the Nets. That led to 37 points. Yeah. And you're going to be hard-pressed to win many playoff games where you're giving up 37 points on the turnovers because of the turnovers there.
Yeah, and Kevin Durant, I mean, it's been a theme in this series now. He's had 17 turnovers, and so many of them feel to me like they're not like, he just missed a pass or whatever. It's like the pressure is coming, and he's trying to like keep his head up but keep his eye on the ball, and there's so many hands coming at him. He just can't he can't get free. Mm-hmm. It's very well done by Ime Udoka to just say, just suffocate Kevin Durant as much as you can.
So Game 4 tonight. We'll see if they can stretch this one out. It would be so wild if this is the only sweep of the first round.
Yeah.
Which there always is a sweep. I think the tweet was going around. At least there has been since like 2003.
There's been at least one since the all went to best of 7.
Yeah. So that's pretty crazy. And unless the Nets can win Game 4 here, this will be the sweep. No one would have picked that for this series.
Yeah. Can Durant find a way to shake the cobwebs, shake the Celtics defense? It's up to him. He has to be great. This is a top-heavy team. He has to be phenomenal. But the way the talk is coming from the Nets locker room, it just doesn't feel like they're going to do it. But, Durant just said it was just a shit game. It was just a shit game. No excuses from that guy. The excuses are coming from a different part of the locker room. But the fact that he's got 19 field goals made and 17 turnovers, I mean, you got to have it, and it's just such a drastic difference between Game 1. It was a one-possession game, but the Celtics have worn him down. It's incredible what the Celtics have done, and they look like the favorite that could come out of the East to me. The Heat are obviously there, and the Bucks are obviously there, but I think the Celtics are playing the best basketball.
Just quickly, the Blake Griffin minutes.
Yes.
Like, he got dusted off, and Steve Nash was like, why not try him? Throw him out
We're
there.
desperate.
Why not?
And Blake came down, hit a couple of threes, looked all right, but man, Udoka was just like, whoever it is, you're taking Blake, and Blake was blowing hard out there. He was like, don't make me work on the defensive end. So the Celtics were like, try him. I know on the call they were saying get LaMarcus Aldridge out there as well. The Celtics were like, all right, bring out bring out whoever you want, because we are just going to go at that guy on the defensive end. And tough night. I mean, Blake sort of said afterwards as well, like, we don't know what we're doing, they do. Very tough to see how the Nets can come together, because they don't look like a team that's together at all.
Yeah, Blake hadn't played in 3 weeks, looked like it, and now they want to possibly bring a guy back, and Ben Simmons hasn't played in almost a year. I mean, that doesn't make sense. But Blake was, he was blowing gas, but the Celtics know that they can rely on every guy that's out there to score. We'll pick on him. We'll pick on this small backcourt. We'll pick on whoever. That's why I feel like they are the favorite, because they can just rely on everybody. The Heat are going to be there, baby. The Bucks are going to be there. But I think the Celtics are just playing the best basketball right here, right now.
Again, it's a whole thing like the Nets are not a great defensive team, so are they making the Celtics look a little better on that end? It's tough to say. Can't wait for Celtics Bucks though. I mean, talk about two teams that know who they are, know what the game plan is. Obviously, you have a lot of reps in the playoffs, and like they're gonna try their asses off. That's gonna be that should be a lot of fun, because the Nets are obviously not putting up a fight here in this one. Even when they like you said, cut it close, the Celtics they'll just put that, that's exactly right. A couple minutes here and we'll have our 10-point lead again.
Jaylen Brown hit some threes. I think it was Tatum hit one as well, and it was just, those for the Nets are just like, oh my god, we can't even really make progress on this team. Everyone seems ready to throw Steve Nash under the bus too.
Hell yeah. I think Steve Nash is done with this shit. This is my gut.
He could be doing anything
He's
else.
Like, why am I doing this? I could be talking about soccer on TV for a living. No one gave a shit what I said. I got to live in California. I didn't even have to come to the studio. Just hung out with my buddy, with his buddy Stu. He must be like, what did I make this decision?
Just go Stu. Yeah. No, I don't know if he'll be back if they get swept or not. I mean, but I just look at the coach and think, what's he supposed to do when guys are just like not putting in like they are for him? He can't do much more than that. He tries Blake and it's like, well, I got to try something. And it's like, no, that's the wrong move. So, he has not been given the great cards to play here in his coaching career with this team, with Kyrie and all that. But you have a lot of talent, and there's some other people are saying you can get a little creative, you can come up with some things, put them in a better opportunity. I agree, but I also think the Celtics are ready for anything defensively. And that's where Nash is. It's hard. He's like, well, I'm trying to get to Kevin Durant shots, but what else can I do?
Yeah. I don't want to really sit here and defend this coaching Steve Nash has done, because I don't think it's been all that elite either.
No, he hasn't been good, but also I don't think there's no way that this is how Steve Nash wants to play. That's not how Steve Nash played basketball. Everybody touched the ball. He was like Mr. High Fives. Everybody gets involved. And this is your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn for the whole game. Yeah. But, everybody has, of course, dug up the quote from when this team was forming. We don't really need a coach. We don't really have a coach. It looks like it. Yeah. It looks like he's doing nothing out there.
Yep. Final series. Saturday, Siakam, 34 points. Spicy P there. Raptors avoid the sweep. And get ready to shock the world. Raps in 7, baby. Technically still alive. Beat the Sixers 110-102. Now, news with Joel Embiid. He is going to have thumb surgery after the season. He's got this brace on it. Seems to be affecting him, no doubt. I mean, you saw the game tasks. He had his worst game too, had some more turnovers there, didn't really put his imprint on this game. He's pissed off with the officiating, which is a bit of an eye roll from me with Joel Embiid talking about that. But he said he's going to power through this, play through this for the postseason. But the reps with Siakam there, getting to the line, knocking down 13 of 15, and being the point guard. And we just learned, I just saw it come through on Twitter, Van Vliet out tonight. And out likely a game 6 if the Raptors can make things really spicy, if they could somehow win in Philadelphia here and elongate the series. What do you think? Yeah, I don't know if it does suck.
Fred hasn't been himself. Yeah.
I think giving the ball to Siakam as the point guard is better than what Fred's been able to give in this series, probably because of the injuries. Yeah,
he has not been right for months. It's just a guy to give Siakam a little bit of a breather. You're going to ask Siakam to do a lot without a point guard on this team. He is the point guard in a way. I know, but just to have an outlet. I will say, going back to the 4th game of a 3-0 series, it's usually kind of flat, but I think you got a lot. We named Scotty Barnes Rookie of the Year pre-game. Vince Carter awarding him the award. That was a nice little moment. Scotty Barnes. I've never seen straighter arms of a guy accepting an award. It was straight up in the air. He was so
Straight up
excited.
Scotty.
And Fred, leaving in the second quarter because he's been injured. It was a hip injury now, but his knee has been bothering him and doing a real Hulk Hogan, absolutely tearing that jersey. So I think there was a lot of excitement, like entertaining things for a 3-0 game to see. Does anybody do that in WWE now? Or is
Tear their shirt off?
Or is that
just a Hogan thing?
Because it wasn't everybody says it's a Hulk Hogan move, but God, that's old. Like, there hasn't been anybody who's done it since. I mean, you want to talk about old? It wasn't a real classy Freddie Blassie move to rip that thing. God rest his soul. But anyways, Thad dropped Joel Embiid in this game.
Yeah, he did.
With the dribble.
We're going to see more Thad, I think, here tonight, too. I think Nick Nurse has to play him.
Yeah, he's going to act like a ball handler out there. They desperately need guys. It is crappy. Fred, going back to the All-Star game, hasn't been right. Obviously, Siakam got it going here. His best game, a 34-point game, more than what he had in Game 1 of the Finals. So this was a special, special night for him. It's asking him to do a lot to be the guy. I mean, there's a little bit of life in this Raptors team.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I'm a little bit worried when Pascal passes the ball off because OG hasn't been great, making those decisions. Thad could have. You're expecting a lot of guys that don't generally do it, but Paskey, it's all on Paskey, really.
Yeah, you might see 6 guys play maybe for the Raptors, maybe 7 in this one because I don't know if Birch will play. Boucher, Precious.
Boucher's playing.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying who's going to come into that starting lineup. Probably Barnes, I'm guessing, will come into the starting lineup there, as he should. He's back now. But I'm just disappointed, Joel Embiid. You can't say, I told the coach for the other team, stop bitching about calls, and then be like clapping the referees off when you lose the game. You just, come on, man. I'm surprised.
Too much ref talk this series. 100%.
I'm surprised there's any professional sports because
5-game suspension for
minimum 5-game suspension and a $5 million fine because it's like just play the game.
It's gonna get worse every time.
You can't be like, well, if we lose, the refs are okay. If we win, refs are okay. We lose, the refs cheated us. Come on, just forget about it. Go out there and play Embiid. He's great, and he's going to finish second or third in MVP voting this year. Don't ruin it. But he sort of is a troll like that. So
this is in character.
It's just to me like just play the games, man. Stop the refs. Imagine every single game, someone's like, "You cheated us." To the refs, every single game, one side or the other, saying, "Yeah, you cheated. You had it in for us, and you just want to rig the series." But when we won, you didn't do it. You didn't actually do it that night. You were fine.
They're different refs.
So anyway, that's what I'm lobbying for: 5-game suspensions.
All right. Well, the Raps, can they do this? Can they do the impossible, Trey, or at least even just get us to Game 6 back in Toronto? What do you think? Or being back in Philly and maybe the whistle being a little more evenly or going Philly's way because they're more aggressive, whatever, that they take care of business tonight?
I would surmise that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to gentleman this one up, but the Raptors did a pretty good job on Tyrese Maxey up in Toronto. 30 points on 12 of 30 shooting, 7 assists, 6 turnovers. Like, they made him into a role player rather than a third star. So if they're able to continue to do that, if it's just Embiid versus Siakam, kind of, maybe that favors the Raptors. But I don't know. That just seemed like a little bit of the Raptors. We ain't getting swept here. And they had a lot of pride on their team, so they took care of business. That being said, it's going to be tough. Maybe, though, Embiid's finger or his thumb, is a problem. So hack him. Hit that hand as many times as you can.
Well, that's right. He's saying he wants surgery after the playoffs, but surely he's at some risk of aggravating it or doing further damage. I mean, I don't know, but it's a ligament too, which is anytime you hear ligament, that's bad.
And he says it really affects him, like the rebounding and the passing and stuff like that, even more than the shooting, I guess.
It's bothering him. There's no doubt. You see him physically. It's hurting him. What are all the other Sixers going to do at home, though? I think they will be there to step up. It's just, again, I know people will say, oh, no Fred VanVleet. They look better without him. You're going to see Malachi Flynn out there. You're asking Scotty Barnes to play while he's still not 100%. You saw him limping around a little bit. He's not right.
I think it's better, Tess, just with VanVleet banged up. I mean, it allows the Raptors to have the most ridiculous length out there because no one's shorter than on any of those, really. I mean, outside of Flynn, if he gets his minutes, some of his minutes. And they just need to continue to obviously force Philly into turnovers, get the fast break points because they need all the points they can because they're not great half-court offense. And they did work on the glass in Game 4. They out-rebounded the Sixers, too, because of, a lot of big guys. I like the ball in Siakam's hand.
Yeah,
and Scotty's, and like you said, Thad, if they decide to go zone and stuff like that.
And Gary has been a new Gary the last couple
Yeah.
games. I just think you're asking a lot of Pascal Siakam. I'm sure that there'll be more Embiid on him. There'll be, Thibault back in the lineup as well.
That's big.
To mess with him a little bit. Pascal Siakam is going to have to be a friggin' superstar, really, these last couple games. We're not going to be relying on Thad to, play these crunch time minutes. So Pascal has had one great game in this series. Now we're going to ask him to do it again and again and again without Fred VanVleet, who hasn't been anywhere close to Fred VanVleet. That's true. I will say one thing about the officiating talk. It is getting out of hand. Everybody's doing it, but I thought this one was funny from Doc Rivers after Game 4 because he talked about the refs without talking about the refs. He said, quote, "They deserve to win the game. I'm not going to sit here and complain. I'm not going to like they do. We got beat tonight."
I just want the Raptors to win tonight for maximum chaos. Oh my God. We'll see.
If not one of these series in the Eastern Conference has a team winning 2 games, that would suck. We could have 5 games or sweeps in every series.
Yeah, that's true.
That's surprising to me.
And then, of course, potentially 3 Game 7s in the West. Still in play. Pretty wild. Okay, let's take our final break. When we come back, tweet of the night, and we'll look ahead to tonight's games. I got a trivia question for you guys.
Love trivia.
Very weird trivia when I think about it. But the question is, what are some things that keep getting better as you use them? I'm going to give you a hint, see if you can get it. Okay, so this one, you wear it on a motorcycle. What's something that keeps getting better the more you use it?
Leather jacket.
Leather jacket. It's good, right?
Right.
Okay. You use this in the kitchen and flavor gets added to it.
Like a wok.
Not bad.
Like a wok, a cast iron skillet. I was looking for, but a wok. Perfect. Final one. It's a product we love here on No Dunks.
Wedgies. Underwear.
You lie on it.
Bed.
Bowl and Branch sheets. Bowl and Branch sheets aren't just buttery, breathable, and comfortable. They get softer with every wash. It's crazy. And forget thread count. Stop talking about thread count like you think it matters. It doesn't matter.
No,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Bowl and Branch gives you thread quality. Quality over count. Remember that.
That's like fouls. They don't have to be even. You just got to make the right call.
Doesn't matter how many threads your sheets have if they aren't the best threads possible. That sort of blew my mind. We're just taught thread count. But when you think about what's the quality of the thread count?
Pitch count's the same, isn't it, Tassie?
Yeah. I think
That's a good point. They're throwing less pitches, but they're throwing them harder.
Yeah.
Throwing better pitches.
Good. I got some Bowl and Branch,
insane.
and they weren't joking about them getting softer after each wash. We've used them a couple times now, and it's true. They're getting better and better the more we wash them. Bowl and Branch signature sheets come in 9 versatile colors in all sizes, from twin up to California King. Are you a California King, man?
I am a California
God, you're
king,
living
man.
life.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. You'll immediately feel the difference with these sheets. Best of all, Bowl and Branch gives you a 30-night risk-free trial with free shipping and returns on all orders. That's confidence, baby, confidence in a product right there. Get 15% off your first set of sheets when you use the promo code NODUNKS at bowlandbranch.com. That's Bowl and Branch. BOLLAND branch.com. Promo code NODUNKS.
Green Chef. Our next sponsor is
I
Green
screwed up,
Chef.
man. I
That's
didn't
all right.
start Bowl and Branch, yeah.
That's all right.
I had trivia, though.
4 out of 5 ain't
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, trivia. Green Chef fits perfectly with me because I'm the greenest chef there is. In fact, Danielle, my loving life partner, is signing up our little kids for cooking classes and asked if I wanted to take them too so I could learn some basics. But why take classes when you've got Green Chef? Because I made the Cajun blackened chicken and it was magnifique. Just followed the instructions and bang, like a Mike Breen shot. It was great. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. With dinners that work for you, not the other way around. Green Chef's options for every lifestyle are included in there. Keto and paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean like me, and gluten-free. Whether you're looking for carb-conscious, gluten-free, plant-based, or calorie-conscious options, or you just want to have delicious, balanced dishes, Green Chef has flavorful, feel-good recipes that are sure to satisfy. If I don't have to make a meal, I just won't make it. I'll scrap to survive. Unfortunately, that's how I live. But
That's me too.
We call it scavenging in our house. But yes.
But now I've made a meal from HelloFresh and Green Chef because the instructions are right there. It's so simple, and I enjoyed both experiences, so it makes sense that Green Chef is owned by HelloFresh. And that means there's a wider array of meal plans to choose from. There really is something for everyone. Go to greenchef.com/NoDunks130 and use code NoDunks130 to get $130 off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/NoDunks130 and use code NoDunks130 to get $130 off plus free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
All right. We got to start wrapping up this very long podcast here where there are lots to talk about, of course, all those games and series. But let's get to Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
All right, first tweet of the night. It's a quick exchange started by @SnottyDrippin', okay? He tweeted, wait, ain't Jaylen Brown fasting for Ramadan too? Okay. And then the, thinking emoji there. @Renegades Funk wrote back, nope, he is eating the Nets alive. Boom! Nice 1-2 there on the old Twitter machine.
Devouring them, some might say.
Yeah. A Musk. That's why you're buying Twitter, for gold like that. But the second tweet of the night, I just wanted to get the story to this. It's from @Trey Kirby. Unbelievable stuff going on at my house while I'm back in Illinois. And then we're seeing a photo here of Trey's beloved Bulls flag out front of his house that he salutes every morning.
Oh, man.
And there's Bucks t-shirts, paraphernalia hanging off this flag. So what's going on here, TK?
Well, I was back in Illinois, so my in-laws came into town here to spend time with Laura, spend time with the girls. And Dwayner is a huge Bucks fan. I knew I was marrying into a Packers family. I did not think I was marrying into a Bucks family because everybody else, they're Bulls fans, except for Dwayne. He loves to swerve here. So after Game 3 went poorly, he covered my beautiful championship flag with these detestable Bucks shirts. Just clipped them on. That's a chip clip, Dwayne. Oh, wow. That green one right there is a chip clip that I'm supposed to put on my tortillas. He even followed it up yesterday after the Bulls lost Game 4.
God.
Texted me, taking the Bulls behind the shed house. Oh! Yeah, that's my storage shed where I put the old red flag. In the meantime, he wandered in there looking for a saw. I guess he just popped off his own shirt and hung it on the flag. But man, this sucks. This really, really sucks because, like I said, Dwayne's a Packers fan. They've been beating the Bears for like 20 years. They've had great quarterbacks the entire time, but I never thought that the Bucks were going to get like an Aaron Rodgers type talent before the Bulls do. And now I'm going to have Dwayne dunking on me for the next 15 years, it really feels like. But luckily, the Bucks are super likable, unlike those Packers.
And Dwayne, the one time I met him, he's still upset that the Bucks traded away Alcindor.
Leigh, he talked to me about it this morning. We were talking about the shirts. He's like, oh, yeah, I've been a fan back since the Alcindor days. Like, come on, man. He was telling me the exact same thing. Doing his same Bucks bits.
You'd think he'd been a fan for that long. He'd have a flag to drape over your flag. He's just putting T-shirts on there. You can't even get a flag, Dwayne? Come on, man.
That's a funny T-shirt, too, that one that's on the flag in the woodshed or whatever, because it's got the two-time champions.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, technically, but
Well, he remembers both, I guess.
He does. If anyone can wear that shirt, he can.
That's right.
40 years apart.
That's really funny to me. All right. Tonight's games, Celtics Nets. Yes, Boston leads that series 3-0. Is that the sweep? Are the brooms out in the clays? We got Raptors Sixers, NBA TV. Philadelphia leading that one 3-1, but the Raptors are going to win tonight for maximum chaos. And then, yes, the late game tonight, Jazz Mavs, that series tied at 2 games apiece.
Those are rings on the bottom of that graphic, I guess.
No, they're diamonds.
The diamond anniversary.
Oh, the diamond anniversary.
Yes.
Good call. That's my mistake. I thought they were playing for rings. Yeah, good call.
Any thoughts on tonight here as we wrap up this bad boy? Leigh, what do you got? What's your big bold prediction for tonight?
Let's say all 3 road teams win.
Whoa.
They probably won't. But it will just be interesting to see what if the Nets get like embarrassed tonight, because I can see them being down and then them just like, all right, we're not fighting back to just go
Sure.
to Boston to lose anyway. And then
Can the Celtics take like a 14-point lead in the second quarter, and then is there any fight in the Nets?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then what will happen afterwards? What will sort of the, finger pointing and the, who's going to get the blame? Is it going to go straight to Nash? Is it going to go to Kevin Durant or Kyrie, whatever?
Simmons, I guess, to some extent.
The Simmons thing's beyond a joke. But
He can be like, hey, not on me.
Yeah.
I think that's why he's not playing in Game 4. He's like, we're down 3-0. If I come back, even if I play 15, 20 minutes, and then we lose and we get swept, well, then I'm going to get all the blame.
So I think
I
you
ain't
saw
playing.
all the tweets saying Ben Simmons could be the first guy to be eliminated in back-to-back games and said, see you next year. See you next year.
Yeah.
We got to get Blake Griffin a Peloton because he was huffing and puffing there at the end, and we got to get Ben Simmons a Helix mattress for better sleep.
Throw in some Saks underwear for all of them. Man up. Any thoughts, Tass, on tonight's game?
I don't want to get technical, but I guess the Nets should play some more Goran Dragic, make some plays for Seth Curry out there, get some action off of Durant and Kyrie to loosen up the defense, which has been incredible. All three road teams, it's in play.
Yeah.
I mean, the Raptors is the biggest question to me.
I think the Sixers are favored by 7.5.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the Mavs are going home now. The Mavs are winning. Forget that. The Mavs are beating the Jazz. I thought the Mavs were on the road.
Okay.
6.5 point spread. Yeah.
What is the spread for the Mavs, Jazz?
No idea.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's got to be close.
That one is the most interesting to me because, Utah
3
may have
points.
saved their season there with the Mitchell to Gobert alley-oop. And, to have those two come through in that moment was pretty special, I think, if you're probably a Jazz fan. But is it going to be a real thing they can build on? Or are we going to go back to seeing them fighting with each other again? So hopefully they can use it as a little bit of a springboard and we get a classic series going on.
Yeah, I mean, this in some ways is a must-win here for the Mavs because if they lose, obviously, then they have to go and win on the road to keep the series alive, and they wouldn't want to do that. They obviously want to get home at worst to try to wrap this one up. So it'd be interesting to see how the Jazz do respond.
All right, well, that's it for us here today. Email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Follow us across all the social media channels at NoDunksInc. Get yourself an Athletic subscription. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks. Get your NoDunks merch over at nodunks.com. And Tassie,
Hey,
you're off
I am.
for a couple days.
Show up late and then I'm gone.
Yeah, what's going on? Where are you going? You're having some fun, aren't you?
Going to Vegas. Going to see John Legend with my gal.
This is the show that got postponed and postponed and postponed, right?
Yeah, I found an excuse to get away from the kids for a couple days.
Nice.
Where are you staying?
We're staying at the Cosmo.
Oh, this guy might show up.
Don't rent the fridge off them. $25 a day. Not worth it.
Don't worry, he wasn't going to.
Well, you might have been considering it,
Probably not. I'm not eating my room. So.
Yeah. All right.
Save
Going to
some
the
money.
bamboo pool? You think?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, take a
Bamboo
photo.
is
Bamboo
the
boy
Cosmo
and girl?
pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Bamboo is the nice one, the calmer one, not the
Yeah.
dance
Yeah,
party
yeah,
one.
there's
right?
Bamboo Boys pool is the calm one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice pool.
Yeah.
You can take a shower in front of everybody. It's got that shower. It's like, having some fun out there. Yeah.
All right. Well, have fun.
Thanks. I'll be
we'll
back
see
Friday.
you back here. Okay, in the Classic Factory later in the week. We'll be here for the rest of the week. What are you laughing at?
Someone just said, bring your own fridge. That's smart. Save yourself $25.
Oh man, that was gonna be my quote. BYOF.
All right. Guys, you have a great trip. We'll see you tomorrow live at 10 a.m. Eastern here in the Classic Factory. Enjoy the games tonight. Let's just go. I got to get going. Embrace the day, Pete. No, Clipper Post. Clipper Post.
First, have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Okay, now you do your
threw me
quotes.
for a loop?
I know. I forgot the Clipper Bros.
Okay, yeah, I'll make it quick. That's no problem. Thanks for joining us, and remember, give yourself extra time when going to the airport. That's just for me, because I didn't give myself extra time coming here today. But there was an accident. That's not an excuse. You gotta give yourself extra time. Anyways, give yourself extra time going to the airport. A lot of the parking decks are closed at the Atlanta airport. Everybody,
I've got some drink tokens if you want them for Delta, Tass. I can
drink what?
Drink tokens for Delta.
Sure.
Tokens? What is it?
On your phone.
Oh, sick.
I don't know how I got them. I had like 15 of them.
Well, I'll take them.
Yeah, I had a
two of them. This guy's
had a
on
couple
vacation,
of
no kid.
champagnes on the way down to Aruba. So
Wow, how did they populate on your app? Who knows, huh?
one of those crazy things. Man.
I'm gonna take off my mask, have a sip, put it back on.
And one more. No.
Embrace the day, people.